Come check this out. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen this setup, or at least part of it. I've been working on it for a while. This has most of the things that I hope to use, and it's actually a kind of cool story how it came together. I never intended on putting together something so crazy, but a few brands reached out to me and said, hey, Lou, you want to experiment with some of our stuff? And I said, sure. And then this happened. The first thing I want to talk about, and the purpose of this video, is to focus on these LG displays that make up sort of the core of the setup. Now, there's a lot to cover here, so I'm probably gonna split this up into a couple different videos, but this one is about these monitors. So these displays are not quite 4K, and that comes as a consequence of the aspect ratio, which is, of course, unusual, super wide angle, and curved. If you come in a little bit closer, you'll see on the top edge, they actually curve in a little bit. And this is to give a greater sense of immersion, whether you're using one of the displays or using all three like I'm doing right here. So the back of the display is covered by this panel, which helps it look a little bit nicer, done in this champagne color, which I think is a nice look. Now this panel pops off, as you can see, to expose all of your I/O. You have your DC in for power as well as a power switch, a headphone output because you have HDMI in options here. There's actually two HDMIs, a display port in, the Thunderbolt ports, two of them, so you can daisy chain these monitors together, USB up port, and then two USB outs. Essentially, this thing can behave as a USB hub. For example, my tiny little mouse receiver. And you're benefiting again from those Thunderbolt ports because they're not only carrying the video signal, they're also carrying the data signal for USB. And when you're sitting in the cockpit in the center and you see display sort of in your peripheral vision, it really gives you that immersion that I'm talking about, and that's the objective here. Or as I've done in this case, match it up with another monitor, this giant 50-inch 4K display that I'll be talking about more in the next video. Another thing you're probably wondering is how the hell could you possibly power those displays or push pixels to all of them? Now, what's amazing here is that I'm actually using these with a Mac Pro. It's powering all of these pixels, not just the LG displays, but the big 50-inch 4K as well. You can see the brain, the workhorse. So that's a 12-core Mac Pro that is running the D700 graphics card, so it is the top of the range for the Mac Pro lineup. I do want to give a quick shout out to my pal Justin Maller, who set up this background here, which is amazing. As you can see, it's custom for this resolution, for these three displays as well as the display up top. And if you've seen this guy's artwork, you know he does amazing stuff. Check him out, I'll link him down in the description. Anyhow, what is it like to use this many monitors? In this particular case, it is a ton of workspace. That's the bottom line. This is the most workspace that I've ever had. And it means that I can set up a ton of tools and leave them open. This is one of the few ways that you can see a lot of films in their native aspect ratio without black bars. Think about that. This is also, like I said before, from a gaming perspective, some of the best immersion that you can get. There's a number of things I do on a daily basis, and so I do various setups depending on what that day calls for. I could have social media over here. I could have Twitter over on this display, for example. I could have my web browser with way too many tabs open, let's say for Facebook or something, and put that up on this display here so I can track my posts to Facebook. Over here, I put Vox, my media player of choice. I put Sparrow, my email client with way too many Gmail addresses. Skype goes over here, so you could tell this is the command center, and I'm absolutely loving it. But this has just been like opening the gates to heaven. I don't think you guys understand how many hours I actually sit right here. A ton of hours. And so this becomes like a second home, and you want it to be something that inspires you. So that wraps up this first portion of my explanation of what exactly is going on in my setup. I probably rambled for way too long, definitely rambled for way too long. In the next episode, it'll be all about this Vizio 4K television and how I fit that into the workflow, because I don't just use it as an extra computer monitor. That's the way it's set up right now. So I'll go into more detail about that, the speakers, and some of the other peripherals. All right, now I have definitely rambled for too long. Like I said before, that's it. Thank you everybody for giving me all the crazy feedback on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter regarding this setup. Hope I didn't take up too much of your time. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this content. And like I said, I'll catch you on the next episode. Later.